Welcome to my channel. Today we're talking about a new clean brand at Sephora. Not only just a new clean brand, the first black-owned clean brand at Sephora. I have every single one of their products here to test out. I'm so excited about this. The packaging is gorgeous. This line, when I heard it was coming out, seemed like it was made for me. It's all the type of product that I love testing out, and I hope you find this video helpful and enjoyable to watch. If you do find it helpful and enjoyable, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. But enough talking, very excited about these products, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So I have every single product here to test out today. I did purchase these through their website when they first launched, before they even had launched on Sephora. Shipping took a little bit, but it was also because there were snowstorms, so it was all good. At least I got them. The first product we have is their primer. So this is $20. It's their Secure Skin Gripping Serum Primer, and you get 1 ounce of product. It's described as a gripping serum face primer that balances the look of skin, minimizes the look of enlarged pores, and brightens the look of hyperpigmentation. So this is one of those like combo skincare and makeup primers. This has niacinamide, an AHA fruit blend, which is an exfoliation blend, and grapefruit extract, which has vitamin C. That's why it claims to lighten the look of dark spots and hyperpigmentation. It's also vegan, gluten-free, cruelty-free, and comes in recyclable packaging. First off, I think their packaging is absolutely beautiful. This bottle itself is like a triangle, really unique, and I like how you can see the primer through the little window in the front. So this is not my first time trying these products because I wanted to get more of a feel for them instead of just like doing a first impressions, because it's just less detailed and I feel like less helpful. So this primer is really interesting and unique, and I don't think it's going to be for everybody. I'm going to do half my face with this primer and the other half without, because I feel like it does affect the finish of the foundation a lot. So I'm just going to squeeze about that much out, and I'll go ahead and do the right side of my face with this primer. When I first tried this, I was like, oh wow, it's nice, very gel-like and like silky feeling, but not like a silicone feel. It's more of like a feels hydrating type of gel. But once you let this primer sink in, it becomes very tacky and like a tad tight feeling. To me, it feels mattifying. If you have dry skin, I don't think you're going to like this unless you used it maybe just in the T-zone if you do get oily at all. But it is pretty like mattifying feeling on the skin. It feels very firm and like tightening as well. I accidentally put it in my eyebrow the last time I used it, and it was literally like an eyebrow gel. That's how serious this stuff is. I would also be mindful of the amount of product that you use if you do get this. If you use a lot, it can create a lot of that tightening feeling. But I'm just going to do that side of my face. It's getting a little tacky now. By the way, there's like no scent to this, like really at all, which is nice. That's what it looks like so far. I will show you how it affects the finish of the foundation though, which is our next product. So this I'm so excited about. It's the Triple Fix Serum Foundation, $22, great price point of this whole brand, and this is 1 ounce, I believe. Described as a luxuriously clean skincare infused serum foundation with buildable light to medium coverage and an array of shades. So the coverage claims to be medium, finish, natural, and it is a liquid foundation. Some of the skincare ingredients I was talking about are ashwagandha, turmeric, and hyaluronic acid. I really enjoy how they have sort of a skincare base in the foundation, because I love wearing foundations that are actually good for your skin. So you do get this really cute rose gold cap, and it comes with a pump. I mean, look at that packaging. It's absolutely beautiful. I decided to pick up the shade LN6. It's definitely not a match for me right now. I wanted something that would work both when I'm self-tanned and when I'm just my natural tone, which is right now. It's a little bit peachy, but I feel like I could still make it work. So the consistency is pretty liquidy, as you can see it running down my hand there. So I'm going to start on this side of my face that has the primer, and I'm using my LYS Beauty sponge. I just cleaned this, and I'm just gonna pick it up with my sponge and then apply it to my face. So that's what one layer just on this part of my face looks like. With this gripping primer, you have to be pretty particular about how you apply it, because it can sort of grab and patch up a little bit like how the Milk Hydro Grip does, where it's sort of like if you use the wrong type of tool, it'll just become very patchy. So I found that just using a sponge and making sure I'm very gently tapping gets me a nice blend. It is lighter medium, as you can tell. Still have like my redness going on. Let's finish up the rest of this side of my face. This also has like absolutely no scent to it really. So I know I'm not reacting a lot because it's not my first time trying this, but I absolutely love the consistency of this. I love serum foundation, so when I heard this was a serum formula, I was immediately super excited to try it. I mean, it's just so lightweight but still gives you coverage. Like that's exactly what I want in a foundation. Something that's comfortable and looks like skin, and this, it ticks all those boxes. I will go more in depth with the review of that as I do my wear test check-in, but let's do the other side of the face. Just grabbing another pump here. Definitely does not match. That's all right. I'm going to use a brush for this side just to show that you can get more coverage out of it if you use a sponge. This one, I mean a brush. This one is from LYS Beauty. Like with the same amount of product, it goes way further. Usually with serum foundations, I like to apply the product with the brush and then go in and sort of finish it with a sponge. I'm just taking the leftover and blending it in fully over here. Here's one light layer on both sides of my face. I freaking love how this looked. When the first time I tried this, I was like, yes, please wear well because it looks so beautiful. It reminds me a lot of the LYS True Skin Serum Foundation, but not as dewy, which is like my dream come true. As you can tell, it gives you this really natural finish, but it's not overly dewy. So I feel like a lot of different skin types would enjoy this, and you could prep your skin differently or use the primer or whatever to sort of adapt it to how you like your skin to look. I'm going to do a second light layer just for the sake of building it up. This time I'll just use my sponge. Pretty rare of me to love a foundation, so I'm so excited about this. Can't wait. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like this foundation compared to any other formulas. I do think it's similar to the LYS and Kjaer Weis formulas because those are both serum foundations. I feel like this for $22 like blows those out of the water for such a similar finish. Let's move on to the next product. Clearly I'm very excited about the foundation, but we'll talk more about that later. They do not have a concealer. I think it would be so fun if they did. Maybe in the future they will release a concealer. I'm gonna go in, I think with my Cover FX one. I'm going to use my Power Play and Light one just because I'm so familiar with how this performs, and I'm just blending that in with the same sponge. The next product in the lineup is their Triple Fix setting powder, again with the packaging, really gorgeous triangle shape. You do get a mirror in there, and I got the translucent shade. It comes in 4 different shades. So there's the translucent one, there's a banana, there's a medium tan shade, and there's also a dark deep shade. So I decided to pick up the translucent one. This is a pressed powder, pretty silky and smooth feeling, pretty buttery as well. So I don't usually love a pressed powder for setting my under eyes, but I tried this out a couple times under the eyes and it worked really well, so that's what we're doing today. I'm gonna smooth out any creases first with my sponge again, and then I'm taking my Real Techniques setting brush and then just lightly setting. I love how this doesn't darken my under eyes. Sometimes translucent powders can do that, but I feel like it's truly translucent. I'm also gonna set right on the sides of my nose, my smile lines where I get creasing and oily. I'm gonna set the rest of my face, but these are the areas I like to really like focus powder on. So as you can tell, just with that little bit of powder changed the finish of the foundation a lot. You really, I don't feel like need to powder this foundation because I am combo skin. I need to powder or else this is gonna end up too oily throughout the day, but I don't find that it wears, like it doesn't get super oily throughout the day, which is amazing. Did I say how much this was? So it's $18 and it also has niacinamide, green tea, and sodium hyaluronate. I think pressed powders can sometimes be a little bit heavy, especially for the under eyes. I feel like this is super smooth. It's almost like a loose powder in press formed. I mean, that's literally what it is, but it feels just as lightweight as my favorite loose powders. So I'm going to set the rest of my face as well with a fluffy brush and this powder. So one of the things I was really happy about when I first tried these products out is even when you set the foundation, you can tell that like that healthy skin look, it's still there. Like, I don't know what kind of magic they use in that foundation to get it to do that. It just looks so skin-like even with powder. It's also one of those foundations that when you're like getting ready, if you don't get ready in natural light, you know, sometimes your foundation will look good, you see it in the daylight and you're like, oh my god, what is on my face? This is like the opposite. It's like, wow, it looks beautiful. You see it in like daylight and you're like, wow, it looks even more beautiful. It's just one of those that looks like skin, doesn't accentuate texture. It's just everything I've ever dreamed of. But let's move on to their next product, which is a bronzer. I feel like this collection was just made for me. It's like all of my favorite products to try. Not everything's a cream like a lot of new beauty brands are doing, like the minimal thing. I feel like this is more of like a bit more glam type of brand, but you could also make it look super natural. I mean, the foundation's very natural looking. So the bronzer here is called the No Limits Matte Bronzer. I got the shade Motivate. Same packaging as the pressed powder. Bronzer comes in 5 shades. I got the lightest shade and it's $18. It's a clean talc free build buildable matte bronzer that sculpts, defines, and livens up the complexion with a silky smooth formula. So I was a little bit worried about the initial color of this bronzer. It seemed a little bit warm, and this being the lightest shade, I was like, is it gonna be too dark? But it's a pretty sheer formula. I'm using a ColourPop F21, just an angled brush, and I'm tapping in and then tapping off the excess, and we're just gonna start bronzing. As I was saying, it's very sheer, but it has just the perfect amount of pigment you kind of want with a bronzer, because I feel like bronzer is supposed to be a wash of color. So I love when a formula is more sheer and buildable. And once I put it on, I feel like the shade actually works really well. So if you do have a skin tone similar to mine and you looked at this, thought it might be a little bit dark, really don't worry about that. I'm very fair and I seem to get it to work. And although this is a matte bronzer, I don't feel like it's flat or chalky. It just goes beautifully with the rest of the products that they have. It's very unusual of me to like every single product in a brand, but this is just one of those times. I cannot recommend these enough. I know I'm not even through the video yet, but everything is so good. Next, let's talk about the blush, which is their High Standard Satin Matte Cream Blush. Look at the shade. This is Confident. So this is like a super silky type of cream blush. I was kind of surprised when I first felt the texture because it's very thin. Like, it's not like a cream blush where it's more of like a thick cream. It's a really interesting cream blush formula. So to apply this, I'm going to use my usual cream blush method, which is with the Luxie 512 small contouring. Tap it in to the product, tap the excess off, and then apply it to my face. This retails for $16 and there's 6 shades, although 4 of them are sold out at the moment. What is the one that I have? Confident? Yeah, including the one that I bought, which is described as a pink cinnamon spice. I also really want the rosy mauve one. It looks so pretty, and this one's very pigmented. So let's just go ahead and apply this. So as I mentioned, I like to grab the product, really make sure all the excess is taken off. I also like doing this because it spreads the product evenly onto the brush, so you're not gonna get a lot of patchiness, especially when you're applying a cream product on top of powder. So all I do is just stipple this right where I want my blush, and I haven't had any problems with this going over the powder or any other powders that I've tried it with. Usually with this method, most cream blushes are able to go on smoothly. This one I feel like is exceptionally smooth and it's so pretty. It gives you a lot of color, but you don't need a ton of product at all. Very buildable and sheer, and I love how it adds a tiny bit of glow. It's not at all like too oily. I do agree with the satin matte description of this product. I mean, look at this. I love how it looks. This is all of the base products that they have. The last product in the collection is the Speak Love Glossy Lip Oil, which I already have on. So this is actually a treatment. Every time I try to open this, I think it's a twist off. It is not. It's the same triangular packaging. It works perfectly for the lips. I actually feel like this is such a great lip treatment. It's $12. It has a balmy type of super smooth, but the perfect amount of thickness treatment texture, and it stays on for a long time, which I like. When I hear lip oil, I kind of get scared because they wear off pretty quickly. I don't find that this one does. It's described as a nourishing clean lip treatment oil packed with soothing hydrators and natural oils for a high shine finish and long lasting comfort. Has a bunch of different oils, chia seed oil and vitamin E. I've been using this when I've been getting ready, and by the time I put on lipstick, my lips are just perfected and ready to go. So that was it for everything from this brand. I'm gonna finish up my makeup. We'll do our check-in and then I'll just chat a little bit more about them. I'm back with the rest of my look on. Added some freckles for fun. I am just loving all of these products. I'm having a really hard time coming up with any cons. I would say probably out of everything, the product I feel like you'd have to be the most careful with is the primer, but I don't feel like it's a bad primer either. I'll have to see throughout the day how it wears and how it compares to the side without the primer, but I just love the look of the foundation. It looks so beautiful. I will put everything that I use for the rest of my face below. I didn't even do a highlight, by the way, because I feel like the cream blush is giving me a nice glow. It is what time right now? 2:24. So I will check in at the end of the night and update you guys on how it's wearing. I'm back and it's now 10:14 at night. I'm wearing this foundation for quite a while now. Here is how it's holding up. I'm getting oily right on the sides of my nose, as I usually do. I'm actually not noticing a huge difference between the primer side, which is this side, and the non-primed side. It actually does look a tad less oily right around my nose, but but I don't know, I'm not noticing a huge difference with that. I think the foundation wore really beautifully. I was wearing a mask. I was literally taking a nap in this makeup, so like my face was pressed up against things, and I feel like it has worn off like a little bit, but it's one of those foundations that when it wears off, it looks so natural that you can't really tell that it is foundation wearing off of your face. I mean, my forehead usually isn't as oily as it gets. Slight creasing in my smile lines, and this was with 2 layers. You saw me apply it. It hasn't gotten any worse than the initial creasing that I got. So overall, I'm just super impressed with really all of these products. I think the powder was nice. I will have to try the foundation again and then try touching it up with the powder throughout the day and see if that makes it wear even longer. But even the blush, I can still see that on my face. I mean, I don't know guys, I really don't have anything bad to say about these products. My #1 recommendation I would say is definitely the foundation. It is just so gorgeous. If you like the lighter medium, super lightweight serum feeling foundation, this would be amazing for every day. I think a lot of skin types would enjoy this. If you're super oily, I think you might need something more mattifying underneath it and on top of it, but I really like it. I recommend all the other products as well. The powder, I think the cream blush is pretty, although it doesn't like stand out to me as a very unique formula. There's tons of cream blushes on the market nowadays, but I do really enjoy the powdered bronzer. It's super silky and smooth and has a nice sheerness. Like, I feel like it just looks very natural. All of these products are giving a natural look while being high performing, which is what I love to see in a brand. One product I would say to like pass on, or I don't know, I feel like I need more testing with this, is the primer. I just feel like it didn't really do a ton. I love the packaging. Every time I look at it in the viewfinder, I'm like, damn, that's cute. But yeah, that's probably my least favorite out of everything, but I really like the lip treatment as well. Really impressed with everything. So that was it for this brand. I love the packaging. So far, this is a total win for me. I feel like I've been on a bad streak with new brands, especially new ones coming to Sephora that have just been so subpar, or I only end up liking one product, but this is one of those brands. I'm so excited to see what they do next. I'd love to see like a concealer, if they did eyeshadow or a highlight, that would be so cool. Can't wait to see what's next for them. Definitely check out, is it LYS or LYS? There's like a dot in between. Who knows? Check them out on Sephora. I will have it linked below. That was about it. I'd love to hear your comments below. How do you think it wore? I feel like it wore really well. If you watch my videos, you've probably seen how a bunch of other foundations have worn on me, and I think this one has done very well. That was it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss my next video. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful at any point. Thanks for watching again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.